Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Am I the A-hole? Story 1. AITA for wanting to go to my dad's house on the weekend of my wife's birthday. Every Sunday for my 2-8m adult life, I've gone to my dad's house to spend the day with him and watch sports, football, baseball, racing, whatever, and eat dinner together. This has always caused friction between my wife, 30F, and I ever since we started dating. She gets along very well with my family, but she likes to have lazy Sundays on the couch while I like to go to my dad's and be with him, like we always have. She's more than welcome to come, but she just wants to be home. For this specific case, her birthday is tomorrow, 10/30. Yesterday we had a party for her with my family and her family and everything went on fine. This morning she is hungover and slept in while I got up and did things around the house. My dad calls to confirm if I am coming over, and I told him I was. She wakes up and finds out I intend to go to my dad's house, and is instantly upset because I'm leaving her on her birthday. I understand her side, but it's not like I forgot or ignored her birthday completely. We had a good party for her yesterday, I have gifts ready for her tomorrow, and we plan to go to dinner tomorrow, her actual birthday. I called my dad back and told him I won't be coming over today. She's now upset and said I should just go to my dad's now because she doesn't want to be around me right now. I said I wasn't going to flip-flop on my decision and call my dad back to change my mind again. Now I am currently sitting home and my wife is upset and doesn't want to talk to me. So, AITA? Also, any suggestions to resolve this issue that happens every Sunday? I've already confronted it with my wife and said I am not happy with arguing about it every week and would like to find some sort of solution, but she says she won't change and I guess we'll just argue every Sunday for the rest of our lives. Edit. Also worth noting, we just got back from a long vacation, so I have already not seen my dad for the last 2 Sundays, today being the 3rd, because my wife and I were on vacation. Story 2. AITA for telling my husband that I cannot take on a second dog. So my husband, 22M, and I, 21F, ended up looking at a multitude of puppies today between the flea market and then our trip to a local shelter. I like to see them of course and I love puppies as much as anyone else. But me and my husband don't currently live together full-time. I live in our house, about 2 hours away, and he stays with his parents while he works because that's just how things worked out for us and we have been making it work with minimal issues. I decided to come down for the weekend with our dog as she has severe separation anxiety as a rescue. And it seems that this had made my husband miss her a lot and so he's got puppy fever, especially because her attachment to him has been transferred over to me as a result of the living situation. We had been at the shelter looking at a particular dog and his dad said that his mom had the final say. Now don't get me wrong, the puppy we had been looking at was extremely sweet and would make a great dog with proper training and exercise and plenty of chew toys. I did love him, but because we couldn't get a hold of his mother, my husband asked me if I could take him home with me. I told him no. And repeatedly told him no, that I could not take home a new puppy when I will have no time to take care of it since I'm gone all day. Our dog already has to come to work with me. I can't leave a puppy home alone all day. This made him upset and he told me I had to be the one to tell the handler at the shelter that we wouldn't be going through with fostering or adoption. Now it's not like he was rude towards me, but it's one of those things where when you've been with someone for 6+ years you know when they're upset and can feel that being directed at you. I feel bad because I know he just wants a puppy to love and train. But I can't take on that responsibility and I would feel far worse having to bring the puppy back to the shelter than simply saying no up front and not feeling like I was guilted into adopting when I couldn't provide what that animal needs. Story 3. AITA for letting my daughter buy her dad a gift from the wrong football team. Can't actually believe I'm writing this post. My ex and I have a 3-year-old. She's amazing and loves her daddy. It was his birthday on Monday, so I let my daughter grab some bits for him. There's a football stall in our local shopping center. They had squeezy balls for each team. My daughter knows that her dad loves football and also the color blue, so she picked out a blue one for him. I knew it wasn't his team, but there's nothing on the actual ball, it just said the team on the wrapper. She bought it, we left, everything got wrapped up. We were with him when he opened them. His face fell and he dropped the ball like it burned him when he opened it. His mom gave him the evil eyes, so he did the clearly fake thank you, and then our daughter was disinterested. He was off with me the whole day and last night called me a bitch for doing that to him. I asked what he meant. He said I knew he hates that team. I didn't. I used to ignore his football rants, and that he thinks it's shitty that I used our daughter as an excuse to upset him. I explained that she picked it out and he claimed I should have corrected her because he hates the gift. I called him a child. His mom has since texted me apologizing, but in a even though it's your fault way. She's usually on my side, so now I'm half thinking it's my fault in some sorta way. I did know he doesn't support that team and my daughter would have been corrected easily, so I probably should have done it anyway. So, AITA. Story 4. AITA for dyeing my hair against my wife's wishes because I don't like how fast I'm going grey. I, 30M, decided to dye my hair to cover up my greys. My wife, 29F, was not crazy about the idea of me dyeing my hair in this first place, and all of a sudden said she likes my increasingly obvious grey hairs. I definitely got my dad's genes. His hair started graying in his mid-20s, and by 40 he was perfectly salt and pepper. Now he's approaching 60 with almost no brown hairs left. He decided to go grey gracefully. I didn't want to do that. One night over dinner, I mentioned to her how I've been seeing grey hairs since my early 20s, and my method of dealing with them was to pluck them out with tweezers, despite always hearing how that's counterproductive. Eventually, they were growing in faster than I could pluck them. And more recently, I noticed an alarming amount of half-grey hairs that were in the process of becoming full grey. Fed up with it on a personal level, I told my wife I want to dye my hair. I told her that I'm not ready to go grey yet, and I'm gonna go buy a hair dyeing kit that matches my hair color, which she adamantly refused to let me do, as if I asked for her permission. She started complimenting my greys and saying that it's sexy, and that dyeing my hair is pretty feminine and she wouldn't find it attractive if I did it. I have very thick, curly, shoulder-length hair that I take good care of. I'm proud of my natural hair, but I feel like I should have a say on when I let it turn grey, even though my DNA and wife say otherwise. So I did it. For my first time ever attempting to dye my hair, it turned out great, and I was surprised with how easy the process was. All of my greys are gone, I'm satisfied with the way it looks, and she noticed right away. She acted like I betrayed her in some way. She has had nothing to say about my hair, and it feels as if she looks at me differently now. It's almost as if she didn't want me to be confident in my looks. Is she overreacting, or AITA? Story 5. AITA for banning my partner from eating ice cream. I bought a tub of ice cream, vanilla flavored with salted caramel swirls throughout it. It's absolutely delicious, especially the swirly parts. I offered my partner some. She hesitated and said she wasn't hungry, but then accepted my offer and I passed her the tub. When she returned it, the salted caramel swirls had been mined out of the tub, as if a mining company had stated exploration. I was now left with the less enjoyable plain vanilla flavor. I was mildly annoyed and said she was banned from eating any more unless she ceases mining for salted caramel deposits. Story 6. AITA for demanding that the photos of my daughter are to be removed from FB. One of my friends took a few pictures of my daughter, 11M, and put them on FB. I got annoyed and demanded that the photos are to be removed. I was told that we live in the 21st century and I have to deal with this. I responded that she is my child and that I, together with my decide whether these photos are posted or not, at least until she is old enough to make that decision for herself. I have nothing against social media, but I find that my daughter should make her own decision to be on social media or not. I think 15 to 16 is the right age. My friend told me I was acting like a total offer demanding this and make my friend look bad, but I am willing to die on this hill. Dear strangers on Reddit, AITA. Update. The photos have been taken down after a long conversation with my friend where I explained my position in a more calm demeanor. In the end, everything worked out fine and we both had the opportunity to express our position. Context: they were a couple of selfies with said friend where my daughter's face was clearly visible. Pictures were taken in a backyard. Me and my so have SM but made a decision to not post any photos from our children. We find it is up to them when they have the appropriate age, which is very tricky to determine. We have friends that post everything on SM and for them it is a part of everyday life. However, I want to raise my children without the BS surrounding SM as much as possible. Thank you all for providing your input, which is much appreciated. Whether you have determined that AITA or I am NTA, thank you very much. Story 7. AITA if I dress up as a Greek goddess for Halloween even if I'm Indian. So basically I was gonna dress up as a Greek goddess and one of ones was saying it was discriminating / appropriating against the culture. They didn't explain why it was wrong and I just said they were wrong because of that. I got home from school and now I'm kinda left here confused. I don't know what to do and I don't want to offend anyone. Am I the a-hole for saying my friend was wrong and is it discriminating if I dress up as a goddess? Story 8. AITA for wanting my mom to talk to me. Story 9. AITA for buying baby-related gifts to gift my pregnant girlfriend for Christmas. So my 25M partner, 24F, is 7 months pregnant, with our baby boy due in March next year. Now I'm admittedly bad at thinking of what gifts to get people, so I always take a note of when they say they want something so that I have a list. In the past several months though, almost everything that she's mentioned has been related to the baby. I'm not talking the essentials, but really high-end, expensive designer strollers, furniture, diaper bags etc. that can cost up to a few $1,000s each that aren't really necessary. She's been absolutely fixated on some of these things, mentioning multiple times how much she wanted them, and was even toying with the idea of saving up to buy them herself. I'm not sure if she did decide to or not. Now I got a really healthy bonus at work recently, so decided to splurge on a few of the things she mentioned as a Christmas gift to her. I made sure to remove anything related off her registry and off our list of things we still needed to buy, so that no one else would buy it. I thought I did it discreetly, but she somehow noticed and quizzed me about it. I didn't feel like there was any point hiding it, so I told her I had bought those things as a Christmas gift to her. I thought she'd be grateful, but she was irritated instead, and went on a bit of rant about how it was unfair to count things for the baby as a Christmas gift to her, because it was something we'd both use, and no one ever gifts the father baby stuff. And that it was inconsiderate of me to see her as only a mother now and not a person herself. Now I get her point, but the way I see it is that the items themselves aren't necessarily the gift, but more so the act of me buying them for her, given they are luxuries that she specifically wanted and were not necessities at all, e.g. paying $2,000 for a pram vs $200. Also, it wasn't the only gifts I bought her. I got her about a dozen smaller, cheaper things that were on my list, as well as a more expensive tennis bracelet and earring set that she had been eyeing, though I didn't mention that to her. So AITA for including things for the baby as part of her Christmas gifts? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.